Hey everyone, Caroline Schaefer here with this week's episode of Courageously Grateful. First of all, thank you for continuing to join me and listen in and learn how to have the Courageously Grateful mindset. I would love to hear how you're applying it or how it's helping you, because honestly, we all kind of do it. If you're one of those people who takes your perspective when you start feeling all yucky and complaining and you turn it around. Again, it's not to devalue any kind of complaint or hurt, but it's to take a perspective and look at it differently. Because what I am finding is, as a 50-year-old, people my age gripe about a lot of things. Constantly complaining, just constant complaining. And I just don't get it sometimes, because it does create such a negativity within your life and then how you view everything. Before I move on and talk about what this week's subject is about, I want to give a shout out to my friend Felicia Jackson. Now, listen, Felicia is the epitome of taking something negative and turning it into something positive. And I plan to get her on here one day to talk about how she did that. But right now I'm going to talk about what she created. It's called a CPR Wrap. Now, I'm a heart patient, so I love this. And honestly, for the price, it's like $9.99 online. It's amazing. And in this world that we live in today where we have to be extra sanitary, this is great, because what this does is it goes on your mouth. Like, you don't even make contact with the person. And then my husband told me that when you blow the breath in, that snot comes out of their nose, which honestly I'd never thought about. But I've also never had to give anybody CPR, nor am I trained. So I'll be real quick. What this does, it's an innovative tool, and it helps make CPR easier. In an emergency, you just remove the product from this quick open package, you lay it on the chest of the sudden cardiac arrest victim, and then you follow the simple instructions. It's made with this non-woven fabric and is so eco-friendly, and it provides visual prompts to guide you through the rescue. I mean, that's awesome. Now, I don't want to go into her story, but it is a great one. So check out her website, cprwrap.com, and that's CPR, and then wrap is WRAP.com. All right. Now back to the Courageously Grateful mindset. So someone came to me and they were just complaining. And I've been this person where you get stuck, right? And the interesting thing is, this morning, because it's noonish by the time I'm recording this morning I found myself stuck in a kind of complaining rut as well, right? It's just the hamster wheel of negativity. And I couldn't shake it. I just really felt like, oh yeah, well, I would have more of this if people would do this. And it had to do with business and things like that, and being an entrepreneur, because we have a tendency to support those that support us. And it's not always on purpose, but then I think sometimes it is. As an entrepreneur, it can start to feel like high school lunch tables, right? Where it's separated and these are the cool kids. And I wasn't like that in high school, so I'm not like that now. But as this person was complaining to me about something, honestly, they can do nothing about. Because first of all, it's somebody else's problem. It's not even theirs. Now, they may be a part of the system of the problem, but the fact of the matter is, it is not their personal problem. So when they come to you and they're complaining, and in this case, this person had gotten through the situation, but they were still complaining about it. And I wasn't there for the conversation, but it may have started with this other person that was complaining about a similar situation. So you say to this person, wow, that kind of sucks, but it sounds like you got through it. What did you do? You've automatically changed the conversation to one that is not about griping and complaining. Now we're going to look at the good things that came out of it, because if you got through it, that's the choice that you made, right? I know that things are put on us sometimes and we only have so much choice, but in the end, we still have a choice. And I know that's a hard thing to hear. Trust me, I'm preaching to myself right now. The fact of the matter is, you can either be a part of the problem or you can have a solution. Because in this case, in this system that this person's complaining about, they are not going to have a solution for the system, because this system cannot and will not change. But your solution is how it impacts you. Because in the end, you can only do anything about who? Yourself. And what I said to this person that I thought was really interesting, and this is one of those where it kind of smacked me upside the head, it 100% did too. This is what I said. You can't do anything about that system. The only system you have any control over is your own within you. So how are we taking care of the system Like in my brain, what am I doing? I am my own, system. I am my own business. I am my own choice. I am me. And I looked at this person and I said, who are you? Do you know who you are? And I have to tell you, I used to hate that question. I hated that question for so many years because I was like, that's a stupid question. I'm Caroline. Like, why would you ask me a question I already know? But it's not that question. What are your values? What's your purpose? What's important to you? And if what's important to you is to change that system, then when you are in a place where you can, then take steps to do that. But remember, not everyone's going to agree with you and not everyone's going to think like you. So how you think the system would look good may not work for everyone. But in the end, the question is, how are you going to function in that system? What's going to work best for you to be a part of this system? And who are you? What are you bringing to the table? Who are you impacting? Every time you talk to somebody, you're leaving a part of yourself as far as the impression you're making. When people see you, do they run the other way because they know all you're going to do is complain? It's like the boy who cried wolf. When something is wrong, nobody wants to listen to you because they've been listening to you complain about little things forever. So how are you going to change your perspective? Is there something in your life that whether you verbally complain about it or you internally complain about it, how can you apply the courageously grateful mindset and shift it so it positively impacts you? How can you be grateful for the situation that you're griping about? So in my case, it was like, oh, this is like high school. So for me, the whole entrepreneur world, when I start to kind of get in the complaining rut, well, I'm grateful for the people that I have. And I'm grateful that I'm even doing this. And in the end, I can apply for voiceover jobs all day long, but I can also make my own content. And so that's what I'm doing. I can make my own stories and still keep applying for jobs and trying to find jobs. But in the end, I'm doing what I do because I love it. From producing podcasts to freelance writing, social media, making reels, being my characters, Fairy Godmother's coming up soon, and Mrs. Claus. And now I'm learning to play Dungeons and Dragons. Why? Honestly, I have no idea. But it sounded fun. I've already had one opportunity and I kind of sat there going, I'm sure it'll be more fun when I understand it. And my husband bought me this whole book and I looked at it and said, that's a lot of information. I thought I was playing a game. See, watch out. Okay. So I'm grateful for this learning opportunity and I'm grateful for the friends that I'm making along the way. If you stay in an attitude of gratitude, you'll be amazed at how things start to change. If this podcast has spoken to you and made you maybe think about some things, or I'd love to hear if this podcast has helped you. I would love to hear how you are applying the courageously grateful mindset. And if you've been listening for a while, how you've seen it change some things. I love to hear stories about people's lives. It's really something that brings me a lot of joy. And I appreciate you listening. Remember, share this with a few of your friends if you really liked it. And if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. And always think about leaving a review. I appreciate your honesty and your feedback is welcome. And remember, no matter what you do this week, stay courageously grateful.